Hi there, welcome to I'll Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Sagittarius energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people are going to harness high vibe Sagittarius and be using this energy in a high vibe way, and the actions that they take in their life from truth and love and hope and faith and belief in their dreams, because that's what motivates and inspires them in their Sagittarius energy. For high vibe people, but other people might harness a more worldly focused Sagittarius energy, and they're more motivated and inspired by the world or indulging themselves or being more about themselves. And some people harness shadowy Sagittarius energy, kind of immature, try to manipulate other people to get them to do what they want, maybe use their charm or their gifts or their sexuality to get people to do what they want in a relationship, kind of just creating an illusion. So we deal with all just sorts of different types of people in the world. Some of us have learned to listen to our intuition more instead of ignoring it. And some people keep ignoring their intuition because they don't want to listen to it. They think, pride comes before the fall, and some people want to go indulge in what they want to go indulge in, and maybe they think there'll be no consequences for their actions. We've all got lessons to learn in life. So we all tap into Sagittarius energy. High vibe Sagittarius is about looking at life as an adventure to be lived. There's lessons to be learned in life if we're willing to learn lessons in life, get out of our pride and ego, admit when we were wrong and we made mistakes, then we learn the lesson and we move forward in life differently. And some people haven't learned some of the lessons that other people have learned, so we could view them as being immature or in some type of shadowy energy. The overarching reason for the reading is the anxiety card, and next is the financial constraints card and door to value. So the anxiety card is like the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, Gemini energy, kind of trying to get clear about what our truth is. What am I have this dualistic nature. What am I going to align with within myself? Do I have hope and faith and belief in myself and in love? Or do I think I need to work with things of the world and maybe live more from my mind than my heart? If I do love, I could get hurt. Some people emotionally turn their back on wanting to see the truth. And that's a free will choice people have. We have to be willing to see the truth that we could create a different life if we were to be willing to tap into and use the gifts that we have and have some hope and faith and belief. The gifts that we've been given is our intuition, our emotions, our intuitive nature, our creative nature, our inspired nature, our loving nature. And if we use all those gifts we've been given that make us not just an animal or a robot, we could live our life differently. We could feel more abundant within ourselves. We could free ourselves from the things that manipulate us, like our mind and our thoughts and our emotions. We're not meant to be imprisoned and enslaved by our mind and our emotions and our fears and our insecurities. The 5 of Pentacles talks about detaching from the 4 of Pentacles, which can be our more worldly nature, to learn lessons in life and have hope and faith and belief that we can manifest our dreams into reality. Use our emotions, our thoughts, our creativity, our imagination to have true abundance in our life. But it's kind of like some people get caught up in not believing in themselves. So then they use their gifts and their mind and their emotions and their resources and think, no, this is how I need to move forward. I need to be in my fear. I need to be in my defensiveness. I could get hurt doing love, so I can't do love. So I'm going to move forward, making my life more about the world, using my mind and my emotions and my creativity and my sexuality to try to create the things I could create if I operated from love. But I don't want to do love. I get hurt doing love. So I'm going to try to use all my resources, not listening to my more loving, intuitive, creative, inspired, hopeful, believing nature to guide me. I'm going to live more from my mind than my heart, and I'm going to try to manipulate the world and use my gifts manipulatively to have these things without having to do love. We're either trying to manifest and grow a great harvest. We either realize and see the truth that I need to plant seeds of love to get those things, or we have some lessons to learn. And we're trying to go about it kind of in the wrong way. It's like everybody wants to be in loving, nurturing, supportive, abundant relationships, but not everybody is willing to align with that in their free will of their dualistic nature to align with being that type of person. But I want those things. I know. How do I get those things? Who can I move forward with that maybe has those things? And that's what some people try to do. Some people right now are in a mismatched relationship. They could be a loving, nurturing, supportive, encouraging, hopeful, believing person, and they're in a relationship with someone who lives more from their mind than their heart. And they want them to keep moving forward with them in a relationship. It's kind of like working for a boss that's bossy and controlling and petty and, just got some lessons to learn in life. But yet they want you to keep working there. It's like, why would I stay working somewhere with someone who obviously, the Five of Pentacles can talk about a lack mentality. You haven't learned how to work nicely with other people. You have your own fears and insecurities that manipulate you, that have and you don't want to see the truth of it. And eventually high vibe people detach from those people because they do live more from their mind than their heart. They have these fears, they have these insecurities that they don't want to deal with. High vibe Taurus is people who are willing to see the truth, incorporate truth and love and justice and fairness into their philosophy of life so that they can move forward in a more abundant way, in a more enlightened way, in a more loving way, in a more just and fair way, treating other people the way they like to be treated. But some people, they don't want to see the truth of it, because then they couldn't live more from their mind than their heart. And for some reason, they've already made the free will choice that this is the best way to live my life. This will keep me safe. I don't want to do love. I don't want to treat other people in a just and fair way. I don't want to have to act with character and integrity. I don't want to have to grow up and mature myself. I want to keep moving forward like this. And it's always to try to manipulate people to get to stay working for them or being their friend or being in a relationship with them. And there's, the other people have given a lot of thought. When they get in situations where they do feel left out in the cold, people have left, people haven't worked out the way they wanted, they do this work within themselves to see the truth, to grow up and mature themselves. That's what's truly abundant, when we grow up and mature ourselves. And we learn lessons in life. We look at life from a higher perspective. We have hope and faith and belief in our dreams. Have hope and faith and belief and trust other people and invest in other people. Work cooperatively with them. Other people have learned these lessons and they know how to work together with people in a just and fair, cooperative, balanced, loving, encouraging way. And some people haven't. And some people don't want to see the truth because this makes them feel safe and secure. I get hurt. What if it's really weird, right? Our shadow nature is our pride nature. I think it's really wild that there's some people, I think, in the world that are like, well, what if I were to do that and then it doesn't work out? Well, there are no guarantees in life. But I think some people, it really puts them in their pride and ego, like, what if I did put in work and effort and then it still didn't work out? It's like, how about you're proud of yourself that you acted with character and integrity? High vibe Taurus energy. How about if it doesn't work out, you know that you're a loving, nurturing person who acts with character and integrity. You were truthful, you were honest, you put in work and effort to make something work. And if it doesn't work out, you keep moving forward because you have these traits and characteristics that you know are aligned with truth and love. But for some people, it's just like they'd have to get out of their more defensive, egoic nature to even be willing to do that. And some people are unwilling to do it. And the only thing I can come up with as to why they're unwilling to do that is maybe they don't feel they could pick themselves up. Maybe they don't feel like they have it within them that if they were to, well, what is the choice? You get in a relationship and you don't put in work and effort. You stay in fear, you stay in insecurity, and then if it doesn't work out, I guess you still got to pick yourself up. But I think it's like some people think that, well, but if I wasn't really being authentic, if I wasn't really invested in it emotionally, well, then I can just move forward in my life. So they live their life not letting their more authentic, loving nature out to play in the world because they don't, it's kind of like not letting their inner child out to play in the world. You get hurt out there, honey. I have to protect you. I have to live more from my mind than my heart. We have to keep moving forward in this mentality because we think this is like the right choice. And then we get in relationships and we don't let our authentic nature, our more loving, abundant, creative, inspired nature out to play in the world. And people leave anyway. But we can tell ourselves that, well, at least we didn't get hurt. I think they hurt themselves every day. But some people, that's what they think is the right decision. Or for some people, even if they get in loving relationships and they could move forward with loving people, they're so afraid that they won't have what some other people have in the world. And our shadow nature is envy and jealousy and ego and image. And some people get caught up in their head. And again, they lack hope and faith and belief in themselves that if they were to put in high vibe Taurus energy, the work and effort to listen to their creativity, their imagination, believe in themselves, that they could manifest the things that they want in the world. But they get so caught up in their head of either feeling like they'll be left out in the cold emotionally, they sabotage a relationship because they don't have hope and faith and belief and love, distrust other people, probably because they know they're not being authentic and they're kind of manipulating people in a relationship. Some people just feel left out in the cold and they look to get in relationships to make them look victorious or successful, or they've moved on, they've changed, they've grown, they've matured, but they haven't. It's just to create this illusion. And then they're always afraid that the people, because they know they live their life like that, they're afraid that the people they're in a relationship with are like that. And then they don't trust people. And it's like they don't listen to their intuition. If they're moving forward with loving people that are treating them in a just and fair manner, how about you? Get out of your head. The fives can talk about getting more balanced within yourself. Have some hope and faith and belief and love. Listen to your intuition. Quit letting your fear and your insecurity dictate the decisions you make in your life. It sabotages a relationship. And then they sabotage a relationship, but then they don't want to see the truth. So you've probably known some people who are like that. Anyway, some of the people who live more from their mind than their heart, have a lack mentality, don't want to see the truth that that's how they act. And they're probably going to repeat the same pattern with someone else. Other people are consumed and up in their head if they're going to have enough status, image, or money. And they're trying to figure out who they can move forward with that will make them look like they have more status, more image, more money. They've moved on, they've healed, they've grown, but they haven't. And there's other people who are loving, nurturing people that could be in staying in a way of living life, maybe loving and encouraging other people to move forward with them in a more loving way. And the other people aren't choosing to do that, and they're stressed out because they know if they keep moving forward with the people they're in a relationship with, they already probably feel left out in the cold. because they're being loving and nurturing and warm and just and fair, and they could be dealing with some people who their truth is different. I'm more about me, I'm more about the world, I'm more about the ego and the image. I might want to stay in the relationship with you for those reasons, but my truth isn't love. And some people are like, am I going to detach from how I have been living my life and the people I've been aligning with? Am I going to keep moving forward with them, feeling left out in the cold? Or am I willing to speak my truth, take action in truth, do the healing within myself to get balance within myself, to stand up for myself and what I believe in? It's kind of like that last speaking your truth to someone to say, this is how I want to move forward in this workplace, in this friendship, in this relationship. Are you coming with me or are you not? What is your truth? So that's kind of where people could be in the overarching energy. What is people's truth? Whatever people's truth is how they're going to move forward in life. And some of the people that are in a mismatched relationship, they could keep moving forward in it. And we just need to see the truth of that. So, what's going on in Sagittarius energy? The thinking man, which is like the King of Swords. People are currently taking action in the world because the kings, whether it's male or female, we all take action in masculine energy. But why? Why are we taking that action? The feminine figures reflect why we're taking the action we're taking. There's some people in the world who are balanced, aligned, have tempered their more egoic, fearful nature to be balanced within themselves, letting truth and love be the guiding factors in their life, aligning with high vibe Gemini energy, high vibe Libra, high vibe Sagittarius. I'm motivated and inspired by truth and love and justice and fairness. And other people are aligned with a more worldly or shadowy Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius energy. I'm more motivated and inspired to live more from my mind than my heart, or to make my life more about the world or more about me. Why? It has to do with the core foundation they operate from. At a core foundational level, what their truth is. And we as human beings have free will. We have the knowledge of the tree of good and evil and the seeds of both planted within us. And we have free will in our Gemini nature, which is a dualistic sign. Which one am I going to align with? Which one is my truth? I have free will to pick. And we have different types of people in the world that we know, that we deal with in life. You know, you can look at the clear crystal here. You know, if you hold it up to the light, high vibe energy is about being enlightened to the truth. If you hold it up, you know, our worldly nature, up to life-giving energy, there is so much more to us than just our worldly nature. You know, if you hold up a clear crystal to the sun, it shows all these different colors and, you know, beauty, you know, and it's like us. There's so much more to us than what the world says we are. We're so much more than being consumed by the world and thinking our worth and value is determined by our image or how we present ourselves in the world or our status or what we wear or what we drive. But some people haven't been enlightened to that truth yet. They can't figure it out. Why do some people have more hope and faith and belief in themselves and in love? Why aren't people manipulated by some of the things that I'm manipulated by? They can't figure it out. Like, why won't my rock shine? Why does my rock of self doesn't have that spark of life to it? Because it's a free will choice at a core foundational level. Do you have hope and faith and belief in yourself? Do you stay in life-giving energy, offering yourself love and compassion and forgiveness to appreciate that you're so much more than just what the world tries to tell you that you are? You know, and some people know that they could live their life that way. But at a core foundational level, you run the risk. You'd have to live your more authentic life. High vibe energy is about being independent. Independent of your more egoic nature, fearful nature, defensive nature, being consumed more with the world. And people have considered that. I could live my life like that, but, I think I'll have a better chance of manifesting the things I want into reality working with the things of the world. Using my gifts and talents in a more worldly focused way to get what I want, instead of being inspired by love and hope and faith and belief. And we just need to see the truth of it, the different people we come in contact with. What is their truth? The King of Swords, again, could talk about people taking action in the world, communicating with people communicating with us communicating with other people. Are we being truthful and honest and speaking truth? Shadowy energy, more worldly energy, can kind of be trying to manipulate the truth a little bit. If we're kind of in shadowy energy, we're kind of more about ourself and our ego and our image, but we want to be in relationships with other people and have them stay in a relationship with us, we kind of might manipulate the truth. But, we all view life the way we view it, based on how we view life, and we think it's just and fair. The King of Swords is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. And Libra energy can be our public politician persona. And that's how some people view life. Isn't everybody just creating an illusion that they're these just and fair people when they're really not? They're all kind of out for themselves and out for ego and image, and they want these things of the world. Well, that's how they could view the world. And they could view other people like that. And they think that's the truth. But not everybody does view life that way. But we tend to think that other people view life the way we do. And there's some people who think, isn't this what everyone does? Everybody just creates a persona like, I'm this just and fair, stable, grounded, emotionally mature person. You should be in a relationship with me. You should work for me. You should be my friend. But other people listen to their intuition about people. And you kind of can feel that people are being kind of fake and superficial, not very authentic. And it's like, well, I don't want to be. I might have love for you, but if you're bossy or controlling or fake or superficial, I don't know that I want to keep moving forward with you, because I want to be in relationships with people who have hope and faith and belief and love. And you seem in shadowy Taurus energy and Libra and Sagittarius to be more aligned with your more worldly view of life and living more from your mind than your heart. And I don't find it that abundant to be in a relationship or a friendship with you. I kind of feel like I might be in a relationship with someone's false person, like their cardboard cutout person, and their authentic nature's inside looking out through the eyeballs, but they don't let that aspect of themselves come out to play in the world. It's like, I want to be in a relationship with someone who has freed themselves from their egoic nature to be loving and warm and authentic and a real person. Not someone still hiding behind their ego. But anyway, everybody has their idea of what they think is just and fair and how they want to live their life at a core foundational level. And they're going to go take action to try to bring that into reality. So then we have the happy family, rest and rejuvenation, which I view as the Four Swords, which is also Libra energy. Everybody has their idea of what will make them happy. And the reason these cards came out has to do with how people harness their Leo energy. Again, do we operate more from our ego and our image? Is that our truth? Do I want to be in relationships with other people just to have a place to rest within? But I still want to operate from my ego, my defensive nature. You know, I don't want to have to grow and heal and mature myself. I want to keep turning my back to stepping outside my comfort zone and growing and healing and maturing myself. I just want to be in a relationship where I have a place to rest within. It may be good for my ego and my image and my status. Who can I get in a relationship with where I can rest? Where I can operate from my ego? Other people want to move forward with other healed people who've seen the truth, who have tempered their more worldly, beastly nature, have good self-discipline within themselves, have seen the truth, have aligned with their more hopeful, believing, loving nature, and are willing to move forward and keep growing and healing and maturing themselves. And everybody is going to, I kind of look at the strategy card as an Ace of Swords. Everybody's going to keep moving forward and taking action in their life based on their truth, communicating to people in their life that they want to move forward in a certain way. The more worldly, shadowy people want to keep moving forward in life the way that they've been moving forward in life. I'm going to keep operating from this foundation and philosophy of life. I am sure that will make me happy. And they're going to try to find someone who they think will indulge them being in their ego nature, living more from their mind than their heart nature, more about ego and image and money and materialism. And they're going to go communicate with whoever they think will maybe move forward with them in that way. Some of the people that they're going to go communicate to or are currently in relationships with, working with, trying to get them to move forward with them. Some of those people have their own fears and insecurities about if they can manifest their dreams into reality. They also might have a lack mentality. The people that are on, some of those people are going to move forward with them. Some of those people could view life the same way they do. Some of those people might be more about fear or insecurity or codependency. I don't know if I can manifest my dreams into reality. This makes practical, logical sense. I could rest within this relationship. It would be good for my ego and my image. And some of those people will move forward with them. So they could do it out of their own fear, their own insecurities, or maybe some of them are more motivated by those same things also. And if they're both on the same page, that's a just and fair relationship. If they both prefer to live their life more from their mind than their heart, making their life more about indulging themselves in their ego or their image or just indulgence, and they think that's the answer, those things will make me happy to live my life like that, well, then they're both going to go on this journey together, and they'll eventually find out if that really is their truth or not, and it remains their truth, and if they want to keep living their life like that. If someone who's more worldly or ego-focused or emotionally detached, shadowy Sagittarius can be people that either are we could view as being immature, or they haven't learned some lessons in life about how to be more, what they think is just and fair might be different than what we think is just and fair. And if there's some people that those people are wanting to move forward with in a relationship, the people that they are in relationship with are really giving a lot of thought to if they're willing to keep moving forward with them, because they could know the truth that we view life differently. Kind of what drives and motivates you, or how you like to be in a relationship, what drives and motivates you might be more, that I have to accept that you are someone who might kind of like more to indulge yourself in a relationship, like sexually, and maybe have a good sex life, but you're kind of emotionally live more from your mind than your heart, maybe a little emotionally detached. And I kind of feel like, by worldly standards, it would look good, might be stability and security and all these things. I'd be in a relationship if I just want to be in a relationship, but I kind of feel like I'd be missing that whole aspect of being in a relationship with someone who is more connected in with their emotions and their intuition and their creativity and, their more hopeful, believing nature. It would just feel like I look like I have it all, but emotionally, I kind of feel left out in the cold. And some people could be wondering, am I willing to give up that kind of relationship that I could have if I were to detach from this and go align with some people in my life who I do think are more aligned with their more loving, intuitive, creative, inspired, hopeful, believing nature? Or should I keep moving forward with these people? And it looks like people are going to speak their truth, and we'll all find out what that is. There's other people in the world that have already gotten out and detached from some people in their life. They kind of realized, nope, this isn't. I thought this was what I wanted, but when it came down to how we were really going to move forward in life, and you can be in friendships and workplaces and relationships with people for a long time, and there can be some growing and maturing and healing in the relationship. But then it kind of gets down to a core foundational level. At a core foundational level, ultimately, what is your truth? Because you get to that stage in a relationship where people are going to have to kind of step out of their comfort zone. We can all come together with people, and we have lots of different things and layers of ourselves to work through our fears, or because at every level of life we have our human nature and the layers of our fears and our insecurities and working together with other people, and we have all these lessons to learn, and we can all do that for a long time in a relationship, and peeling back some layers and people learning and growing and maturing themselves to a degree. But eventually it gets to maybe be in a relationship where we have to get down to that core foundational truth of how the next stage of the relationship. And it could be about, we've worked through a lot of things, a lot of differences and our own issues that we kind of need to deal with. But now, if we want to be in high vibe Leo energy, which is being more authentic, we've got to quit moving forward just at the level we have been for the relationship to go to the next level of a relationship. And just like, romantic relationships are supposed to mature and deepen over time. And that can be where we can have a real problem, and we can kind of see at a core foundational level of what drives and motivates people. Are you willing to go to the next phase of life where it is like unknown territory? We could have had a lot of work to do in the relationship where we kind of had lessons to learn, but it really didn't require us to kind of step out of our comfort zone where we're kind of like giving birth to something new. Like we can all get married, we can all have kids, that's kind of the things that people do. And that does have its own challenges and things that we need to work through. But then it's to give birth to something new, and it's unknown territory where we do not have a guidebook. Now it's our own unique individual thing. And we do have to listen to love and intuition to guide us. And are we willing to do that? And to go to that next phase of the relationship, it does also require, if people don't want to just keep moving forward, I want the relationship to grow into this, to the next level of life where it is this more abundant, nurturing, loving creation of our own. And that could require people to deal with their philosophy of life. What ultimately is their truth? Are they more, no, I just want to keep doing things the way we've done it? You know, is our philosophy of life and our Taurus energy, I'm kind of unbudging, I'm unchanging. My truth is, I do kind of, you know, this works for me the way it is. It's good for the ego, it's good for the image. You know, I don't want to have to detach from anything or ways of viewing life or ways of viewing relationships. I might not want to be more authentically myself. I might not want to be more aligned with my fiery nature of creativity and inspiration and imagination to give birth to anything new. I want to just keep moving forward like this because the truth is I have fears and insecurities of detaching from this old way of viewing life or viewing relationships. And I maybe thought I was going to live my life just the way my parents did, or the way I've been in any other relationship. I didn't think I was going to have to detach from any old ways of viewing life or living life and give birth to anything new. And I might not want to give birth to anything new. I'm happy living life the way I live it. And some of those people who are like that have had people detach and move on from them. And they could be worried that some of the people in their life right now are thinking of detaching and moving forward from them. Because there are some people that are comfortable just living their life the way they always live it. And they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. Let's go ask what some of the things are that could concern people about moving forward in life differently. The Two of Swords, yeah. So with the anxiety card being like the Eight of Swords, to complete a cycle to go to the next phase of life, because the truth sets us free, we have to complete a cycle. We have to learn the lesson we were meant to learn from the phase of life we were in to kind of go to the next phase of life. Even if that lesson is, I should have more hope and faith and belief in myself. Look at life from a higher perspective. Expand my perception of how I view people that I'm in a relationship with. Expand my perception of how I view myself and what I'm capable of. And it's that Two of Swords, which gets down to the core, the last two things. We can be in a relationship and we could have 8 major things, like in the Eight of Swords of the anxiety card, about different truths that we had, and we can compromise with people. Well, you viewed it this way, I viewed it that way, I kind of like this, you kind of like that. You know, how we like to live our life, where we like to live our life, how we view life. And we can kind of work through a lot of those things and move forward in a relationship. But then we get down to the core foundational truth. What ultimately is the truth of how you live your life? Is it more from hope and faith and belief and love and justice and fairness and really walking the talk? That would be like high vibe Taurus energy. Having hope and faith and belief in your dreams, or staying in denial about growing to your full potential, being bold, being brave, being confident, being more authentically yourself, being more independent in the world? Or are you more aligned with wanting to live life the way you've lived it? And the reason it came out is because of ultimately what we love. And for a long time, we can be in relationships with people you know, Do I really like it more about me, so I therefore love me more than, wanting to work together with people cooperatively, but that would require to bring a dream into reality. Life-giving energy is about that we continue to grow and heal and mature ourselves, and we keep detaching from old ways of being, our more immature ways of being, to have hope and faith and belief in ourselves to go to kind of that next level of life. Just like we did age 15, 18, 21, 25. We had to detach from some old ways of viewing life or more immature ways of life to face our fears. That's high vibe Leo energy. To be independent of some things in our life that we might be emotionally attached to for some reason, or more immature ways of viewing life, which even could just be our self-protective nature, our defensive nature, or being more about, do we have some shadowy ways of being that maybe we think the scales kind of should be tipped slightly more in my favor? Or I kind of should be able to act kind of immature or bossy or controlling or manipulative or whatever. It's really about going to the next level of maturity of really treating other people the way you like to be treated. From love. Not in a relationship because it's good for the ego and the image and the status and we get along well. Is it based on truth and love? And that would mean people have to be willing to get out of their defensive nature. Sometimes I look at the King of Swords can be like a person's own internal defensive nature. I don't let my more authentic nature out to play in the world. I am willing to work on a lot of things with a lot of people in a lot of ways, but to change my philosophy of life to letting my more creative, inspired, authentic nature out to play in the world, that causes me a lot of stress and anxiety. And it stops them from living their more authentic life. Why aren't we being more authentically ourselves in the world? And for some people, it could be a big jump because they can get in relationships with people that have been doing that work kind of step by step throughout their life, to work through the things that manipulate them, to work through their fears and insecurities. And then by the time it gets to be where we're ready to move forward in life differently, the other people are still, the King of Swords holds one sword, and here we could have someone else that's worked through 8 swords. That in between there is the 7 of Swords, which can be where we could kind of feel like someone was creating an illusion. I'm willing to bring this dream into reality. Of course, I'm inspired by truth and love and justice and fairness. And of course, I've detached, I'm independent, and I'm free to move forward with you in a relationship. And we can get in those relationships and be in them for quite a long time. But then when it gets to be where the other person is about completing a cycle and ready to move forward in life differently, and the other person hasn't been doing that work within themselves, they've kind of just been resting within the relationship, kind of enjoying themselves in it, maybe in shadowy Sagittarius, kind of indulging themselves in it, but they weren't doing any inner work to heal, to work through any of their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. Because maybe that was nothing that ever they lacked the inspiration to even want to do that in their Sagittarius energy. And that's when we can see the truth that how we harness our Sagittarius energy is different, because high vibe Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. As I go through my life, I work through the things that keep me stuck, that try to stop me from loving and believing in myself. And I offer myself love to work through my mental confusion, to free myself from it. And then we can get in relationships with people, and we, again, could just assume that they're doing that within themselves, working through their own issues. And then we could realize they're not. And then they could see that the people they're in relationship with are changing and healing and growing and maturing. And when one person changes in a relationship, it changes the whole dynamic. And then it can throw the other people up in their head. Because you're changing. You're not the same person you were 5 years or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I mean, the high vibe people are changing in positive ways, you know? And then other people aren't sure that they want to move forward in that way because it is going to require them to do this work within them about how they view life. The Seven of Swords is Aquarius energy. What was my idea of the dream life? And some of them, it was like, it wasn't to heal. Whatever I kept in the dark and I don't want to deal with, I want to keep it in the dark and I don't want to deal with it. So then they're choosing to operate more from their ego nature. I'm just not going to deal with it. I don't think I have to deal with it. But they can't go to the next level of life. The truth sets you free. And they want to keep living life the way they've done it, like repeating an old pattern over and over and over, like staying 15 years old forever, living like a 15-year-old all your life, even though you keep growing up and trying to be in a relationship with people who have grown and matured themselves. Well, no, I have these ways of viewing life and these ways of viewing relationship, and I think it should be this way. This is my philosophy of life. It's like, yeah, well, I guess you're going to have to find someone else who has a 15-year-old view of life or date 15-year-olds. And we all know some people who kind of date 15, 18, 21, and 25-year-olds because basically that's kind of the level of life that they're on emotionally, and other people have grown up and matured themselves and they wouldn't be able to stand hanging around with people. I mean, we can all know people and be friendly and get along. Would I want to date someone where I have to explain everything or things to people? Some people like that type of relationship, And some of those people are going to keep repeating an old pattern. Other people are moving on. Some people already got out of relationships like that. They realize this is not my truth. I am inspired to want to grow to my full potential, and I have my own unique talent, skills, and interests, and I'm feeling maybe oppressed in a prison because we live our life a certain way, and if we keep trying to live our life that same way over and over and over, we're not growing and maturing ourselves, and we can see that other people are growing and maturing and being more bold and brave and confident in us, and why am I not doing that? Why am I not being more bold and brave or confident or loving myself and believing in myself? And we start to feel oppressed and confined and restricted and imprisoned. And we don't like that feeling. And that's kind of our intuition nudging us. It's time to heal, face some fears and insecurities, to see the truth, to get out of your head, to go to the next phase of life. You've been here too long. It's becoming oppressive and confining. And then maybe some of the people you're in relationship with kind of become oppressive and confining, shadowy Libra, maybe being bossy and controlling because they don't like that you're changing. They might not like that maybe during this process you got more balance within yourself, and maybe it used to be a more equally out of balance relationship where you were kind of indulging someone in their poor behavior, letting the scales be tipped more in their favor, maybe being loving and encouraging and supportive, hoping one day they were going to do a more just and fair and loving and nurturing relationship with you. And eventually we got to deal with the truth that if they were motivated and inspired to do that, they would. And to a degree, a lot of compromises, because relationships are about compromise, that they could have done that. But then when it kind of gets to that core foundational level, are you willing to do love? Be more authentically yourself, because I'm feeling left out in the cold in this relationship. And that can be when people are like, no, you go. Because I have a lot of fear of being more authentically myself, maybe, in the world, looking at life as an adventure, being more independent. They might be more codependent on the world or other people in their life. And then there's the other people that, the shadowy or kind of more worldly focused people want them to keep moving forward. And they're like, I think if I keep moving forward with you, I'll be left out in the cold. Because I've already seen how it's went. And I'm kind of thinking that I need to so just like some people who are in mismatched relationships, the shadowy people could want the loving people to go, and the loving people could want the shadowy people to go, because we realize we're not on the same page, and we all like to hang out with people who are on the same page as us. And it might be we realize the truth that we are motivated and inspired at a core foundational level by different things. And the people that are currently kind of in a mismatched relationship are kind of stressed. People who want a more just and fair and authentic and loving relationship, it is kind of requiring the shadowy or more worldly focused people to work through their ego or their fears or their insecurities if they're willing to detach from that to move forward with them. And some of them might say, you can go, I'll find someone. We're all ready to move forward in life differently. Some people will never want to be more authentically themselves. Some people will never want to step out of their comfort zone. And they could decide, I'll go find someone else to get in a relationship with. That'll probably do it this way, the way I want to do it. And the thing is, with the loving people are willing to go through a period of feeling left out in the cold. There are certain things and maybe people in their life and ways of living life that they're going to detach from. And that could be what stops some people. Because there could be things or people or a way of living life or viewing life that they're not willing to detach from. And certain people in their life that they might need to become independent from. Letting the world manipulate you, letting other people manipulate you. And they would have to detach from those people, but they might be kind of codependent on those people. Some people it's their original family. Some people it's a friend group. Some people it's like, but I look to the world to define my worth and value. I'd have to do that on my own and define my own worth and value and not make it about trying to build my ego off of the world, validating my worth and value. No, because that's codependent energy. You should do this work within yourself to know your own worth and value. And for some people, they're not there yet to become more independent of the world and how they define their worth and value, because they might define their worth and value by either wanting to get attention in the world or by their status, by their image, what they wear, blah, blah, blah. And that's how they do define themselves. And maybe for some, they don't believe in any higher truth or justice to aspire to, and it is for them all about the world. I don't look at life from a higher perspective. I think this is the game of life. And if the world tells me it's about these things, and that's what makes me have worth and value and makes me important in the world, then that's how I view life. So let's see what's coming up. What's coming up for some people who harness some high vibe Sagittarius energy, and the people who already detach from situations like this and they're like on the next phase of life. They saw the truth. That isn't my truth. at a core foundational level, we're on different pages. They did this work to heal, and now they're ready to have this new beginning. In the interim, they could have communicated with people in their life. This is how I'm going to move forward in my life. Who wants to come with? Who doesn't? And, a little stressed out about some people in their life who they thought were on the same page as them, who might not be. And it's just to listen to their intuition. I can't let it keep me stuck. I need to keep moving forward. The divine's going to work with people to help them, and maybe at some future date, and sometimes, like the rest of us, people got to learn lessons the hard way. And some people in our life might, if they don't want to see the truth, maybe their more emotional nature is running their life. Emotional attachments to things or people, again, or the world in more codependent energy. If they have people in their life who aren't willing to be on board with this, then they're not willing to be on board with it. I won't become independent of those people. Kind of group think in a way. So not living their own authentic life. So, and other people know that some people are moving forward. And they know, and they could be doing this work within themselves to heal, to work through their issues, to speak their truth. But it gets to be, if people don't speak their truth, because the high vibe people have probably already offered love to everybody, taken action in truth and love. This is how I'm moving forward. Are you coming with or are you not? And some of those people are like, I don't know, do I have hope and faith and belief and love? Am I willing to be more authentically myself? Am I willing to be more just and fair in a relationship? Am I willing to kind of change my philosophy of life if before I thought I should be indulged in my more immature nature or stubborn nature or prideful nature? Am I willing to look at life differently? That there is no reason I should be the privileged, pampered person in a relationship. Everybody should work cooperatively together. Everybody should put aside their pride and ego with love for that goal. But then that's when people are like, oh, I don't know. Do I believe in love? Do I trust love? Do I believe people actually love? So what's coming up for the high vibe people? The Four of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, because of the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles can represent all three of the earth signs that we can harness within ourselves, our Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn energy. The high vibe people have offered love and accepted high vibe love, that higher cup. I'm going to offer love to my worldly nature. So me and my world, I'm going to offer myself love and compassion and forgiveness so that I can keep being a student of life. I don't want to keep operating, ignoring love, being in my more immature nature. I want, and I'm inspired to get out of my more egoic nature, the Six of Wands in Leo energy. My shadow nature wants me to keep ignoring love, staying in relationships with people who aren't offering me love, and kind of indulging my more immature worldly nature. And I've probably been in relationships with people who are like that. I took the cup of love. I offered them the cup of love. And if they're not taking my cup of love to move forward with me in a more authentic, loving way, then I'm going to be inspired to invest in loving myself and emotionally growing and maturing myself in the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm going to invest in being a student of life, having a new beginning, believing in my dreams, and investing in the people in my life who did take my cup of love to be a student of life, to move forward with me in an authentic, loving, emotionally mature relationship, investing and believing in the dream. And we're all going to put work and effort, but I can only work with people who are willing to put in work and effort from love. And that's how I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to accept that there's some people that might want to come with, but they're still operating from their pride and ego and their more immature nature. It's like, but I want to come with. That would be a great foundation for me to rest within. I have a lot of fears and insecurities, and, it'd make it look like I've moved on, like I've had a new abundant beginning. It's like, I don't want someone to be in a relationship with me for those reasons. I want someone who's not looking like for a parent-child dynamic for me to indulge them in their more immature worldly view of life. I want someone who's been inspired to get out of their more immature worldly life and codependent nature, who's learned to love themselves. And they've done this work to work through their own emotional confusion about, for some reason, thinking, we've all been children before where we look to get in relationships with other people. Will you be like my mom? Will you be like my dad? Will you love me? I need to be in relationships with people because I've been there myself. Because that was a phase of life that we lived. And until we see the truth of it and learn to love ourselves and be a good parent to ourselves and be like our own best mother, father, coach voice in our head to be more independent in the world, we're still looking outside of ourselves for people to validate our worth and value and love us. I want to be in a relationship with someone who's learned to love themselves. So they're not in codependent energy. Who is willing to invest in a dream with me and align with their more hopeful, believing nature because they have gotten out of their more immature, codependent nature, inspired to love themselves and believe in their dreams. That's who I want to move forward with. And there's going to be people in your life, people you meet, that are going to want to go on that journey with you because they have done this work within themselves and they know you're moving forward, going to manifest it with people in the world, with or without them. And if they want to be part of it and they are inspired by and motivated by that, they'll do this work within themselves to know their own worth and value, heal from how when they take action more out of fear, insecurity, or pride, or ego, or codependency, they're going to end up feeling left out in the cold because love is the answer. And the high vibe people have seen that truth. And other people haven't seen that truth. And the things that they go pursue, thinking it will make them happy, make them feel left out in the cold, because we were meant to learn that love was the answer all along. And it starts within ourselves. Healing and loving our own worldly beastly nature so we can grow and mature our more immature worldly nature. It's kind of like our loving nature is in the driver's seat of our life and our more immature worldly nature has to sit in the back seat and it complains and moans and cries, and we offer it love and compassion to temper its fears and insecurities. We are like a good mother, father, coach voice to our worldly nature. And we say we are going to move forward in truth and love and act with character and integrity and treat ourselves that way. And we're not going to take action out of pride and ego and fear and insecurity and codependency and lust and greed, because we've already done that and it did not work out the way we thought. So we need to grow up and mature ourselves. And as we do that, other people are going to see that that is the truth of who we are. And other people who've done that work and lived life like that and been in relationships with other people like that have seen the truth too. And those people are going to want to hire us, be friends with us, and marry us. Queen of Pentacles can reference all of those things. And we're going to move forward being proud of ourselves that we're acting with character and integrity, not driving our life off into the ditch. So what's coming up for some people who might harness a more worldly, shadowy Sagittarius energy that they don't see coming up? Well, for one, they didn't see that other people in their life were going to heal and grow and mature themselves. In high vibe, the Ace of Pentacles means somebody did this work within themselves to free themselves from the things that imprison them. They added something to their foundation based on truth and love. They have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And they're going to invest time, energy, and effort into bringing their dreams into reality, looking to the future, not repeating an old pattern of the past. I don't want to live my life like that again. I don't want to be in relationships and friendships like that again. I've already been there and done that. Why would I go repeat an old pattern of life? There's nothing new to learn there. I want to go on this adventure of believing in myself, believing in my dreams, believing in love, and I'm going to go invest in other people who also harness like high vibe Aries energy, who are inspired to have new beginnings, inspired by their dreams. Not people who are more inspired by their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego, their codependent nature, the world, their ego. Who's free to go on an adventure? And they did not see that coming. And Aries energy is about the self. Some people thought some people would never invest in themselves because some people are very loving, nurturing people. And they put a lot of work and effort into people to make things victorious and to bring a dream into reality. But eventually they could see, am I the only one putting in work and effort to maintain balance within myself, to be disciplined, to not be bossy or controlling or in my pride or ego or defensive nature? Well, if the truth is I'm the only one focused on moving forward, well, then I'm going to invest in myself. And I'm going to let these people decide what they want to do. This is how I'm moving forward. But I'm done investing my time, energy, and effort into people I've already spoken my truth to and offered love to and attempted to heal things with. If they were motivated and inspired to live their life like this, they'd probably already be in a friendship and relationship with me and working with me. And I need to see the truth of that. If they did not move forward with me, this is not their truth. And I need to get out of my illusions about it. And I need to start accepting that this isn't everybody's truth. And I need to get out of my ego about it, love and believe in myself, and start taking action to bring my dreams into reality with the people in the world that I could meet or know, to start bringing that dream into reality and quit focusing on people in my life who have already shown me this isn't what they want to invest in. And sometimes people will purposely turn their back to us and leave us out in the cold because they don't want to do life the way we want to do it. But they're hoping, because we love them, that we'll be stuck about having a new beginning with someone else, and that we'll come back and make them an offer to do the relationship the way they want. It's like, I already offered you love. I already spoke my truth. I'm moving forward. I don't want to live my life like that. And I don't want people who try to manipulate me to not love and believe in myself to get me to do the relationship the way they want to do it. Because they're afraid of moving forward that way in a relationship or a friendship. Okay, I see the truth of it. You're not on the same page. So I'm going to move on. And that's what some people are realizing. Shit. I kind of turned my back on some people who were offering me love and encouragement. But I could have thought and had the idea, I know, I'll leave them out in the cold. I'll sit here in my ego waiting for them to give up on their dreams. I'm sure they won't love and believe in themselves. I'm sure they'll be up in their head and they'll come back and make me another offer. If they make me another offer and keep chasing me, well, then I'll go with them. Because now I know they're willing to move forward with me doing it more my way. And some people, when someone spoke their truth, this is how I want to move forward, some people did, and some people right now are going to turn their back on those people, and those people are going to leave. And they are going to make an offer to people in the world who they do think are on the same page as them. to be in relationships with people who temper their prideful, egoic nature, who've seen the truth, who are balanced within themselves, who are loving, who focus on truth and love, who move forward with their worldly and their loving nature being balanced, because the temperance card of the patience card is about I maintain balance between my worldly nature and my intuitive loving nature. And I listen to my intuition, and I work together with people cooperatively from a foundation of love, because that brings balance and harmony to my life, and that is my truth. And for other people, they don't even want to be in a balanced, harmonious relationship. Their truth is, I just want you to balance out your emotions about being in a relationship with me doing life the way I do it. I want an imbalanced relationship. I want you to indulge me in my poor behavior. I want you to indulge me in whatever issues I got. And other people are like, no, that's not my truth. For a long time, I thought if I offered you love and encouragement that you would move forward with me in a new way, but apparently that's not your truth. At a core foundational level, the throat chakra, the throat is Taurus energy too. So at a core foundational level of how people want to move forward, because the Five of Pentacles is Taurus energy too, we can either harness high vibe Taurus energy aligned with having a philosophy of life of truth and love, or we can harness a more worldly, shadowy Taurus energy philosophy of life. It's a little bit more about me or about the world or about indulgence or not really having to walk the talk and grow up and mature ourselves. And the high vibe people want to be in relationships with other high vibe people. The shadowy people might want to be in a relationship with a high vibe person too, but only if that person doesn't love and believe in themselves or wants to keep trying to convince them to change. It's like, you keep doing that, that works for me. In the meantime, you're going to be a loving, nurturing person in this relationship. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe for like 5 or 10 or 20 years. That'll be great. It's good for my ego. It's good for my image. I'm in a relationship with a loving, nurturing, balanced person who isn't acting in the shadowy ways I am. Cool. That's my dream life. Or, eventually shadowy people could get tired of getting in relationships with loving people too, because they know those people always try to get them to look at life differently or temper their ego. And they might decide they want to go get in a relationship with someone who also is more about themselves. And they might have someone making them an offer, and they didn't see that coming. And that someone might think their dreams could come into reality with them. But they might have fear about moving forward with that person because they know that person is like them. I kind of think people who have a more shadowy view of life, that one person kind of has to slightly indulge the other person, and they think that's just and fair. Because they do in shadowy Taurus energy, represented also by the Six of Pentacles, is that it's a more transactional relationship. Well, who has more of those things of the world that we value? Do I value what you have more, do I think, than you value what I bring to the table? And someone has to concede in kind of indulging someone. And that's how some people view life too. They could have someone who is offering them those things of the world to have a dream come into reality. You could move forward with me and look at all these things of the world that I bring with me. It's just that they know now the shoe's going to be on the other foot. And they might have to be the one who has to indulge someone. And they're going to have to be the one who puts in work and effort to try to maintain balance and harmony in the relationship, because the other person is kind of more immature or indulgent or bossy or controlling or egotistical or whatever, and they would have to indulge them. Now, when the shoe's on the other foot, now they're not sure if they maybe want to do that. Maybe I should just try to go manipulate a loving person. Of course, God's trying to get them to grow up and mature themselves. If you want to be in relationships with loving people, work through your shit so you can be a more emotionally mature, loving person. Let go of your kind of more worldly, shadowy, self-centered, focused view of life and relationships and grow up and mature yourself. Or this is what you're going to manifest. You're going to manifest what you align with within yourself, because other people aren't going to want to stay in a relationship with you. Or if they do, if they're a loving person, you're always going to be afraid they're going to leave you, because you know they're a loving person and you know they're not getting a fair shake in this relationship. And if you get in a relationship with someone like yourself, they might leave you too, because they're not in it for love. It's just, well, that person has more money, more ego, more status, more power, better looking, bye. Will you see that the answer is love? Don't hold your breath. If you know some people are prideful, egotistical, materialistic, manipulative, codependent on the world, odds are they're going to stay that way. And even if they free themselves from one thing, they have 7 more lessons maybe in life to learn. Sometimes those people will communicate with you. I got out of this situation. It's like, yeah, but you're still like a page and I'm like a much more, in tarot we have the pages, we have the knights, and we have the kings and the queens. I'm glad that you saw the truth of that, and I'm glad you saw how that manipulated you or those people in your life. But, maybe a queen, male or female, is someone who's already completed the 10 of Pentacles and they've restarted on a new foundation. This person has a lot more work to do on them to really be on the same page. Is it nice if people let you know that I've learned some lessons in life and they speak the truth? Yeah, we need more healed people in the world. And we offer them love and encouragement. But, do I want to invest in you in a victory? No. But I wish you love and encouragement. I hope you keep moving forward in your life. But I've seen the truth that we're not on the same page on a lot of things and life lessons that have been learned. But I want you to keep moving forward in life. So there you go, Sagittarius energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.